Namaste everyone. Welcome to our gentle yoga. This type of gentle yoga is designed as a palliative yoga. Palliative yoga is primarily a preventive style, but it can have therapeutic effects also. It is designed for deep stress reduction and to increase the energy of communication in body systems, which stimulates better immune system and body's repair mechanism. One feels better and minor issues can get resolved. Yoga brings good health of mind and body, inner awareness, and a sense of cosmic connection. So regular discipline practice is key. If you miss a day, please use the video recording on YouTube at Life in Yoga Rajan. Yoga is not a physical exercise and it's not a religious practice either. So people with any religious background can do this. This type of gentle yoga can be done sitting on a chair or on the floor. Some points to note is to keep your spine straight at all times, but not stiff. Support your back if you need to. Do these practices gently, smoothly, and without jerks. Slower is better. Visualize the part of the body being exercised for maximum benefit. Follow instructions to avoid adverse reactions. There should be no strain and should be done within your capacity. Make sure the breathing is slow and smooth. If anything causes pain or discomfort, please stop immediately, avoid the practice, and seek clarification. If you have any questions regarding personal problem, please send an email to the email addresses provided in the reminder email. And remember, liability is entirely yours. Thank you.
Namaste everyone. Today is the first session of the Yoga Sutras for this section, which it'll carry on probably for a month or two. So let's begin with 3 Ohms as usual. Take a deep breath in. So today's topic is about the background of the Yoga Sutras, where it comes from, what is its relevance, all of that. But now, before we begin that, I have to make a suggestion over here. Learning happens when you are interactive. If you have a question, feel free to ask. Okay, and if you find that your question is something you don't want to forget, put it in the chat box. But do ask a question because that is the way you will learn. So this is a discussion forum as opposed to just a simple lecture, okay? So many of you have probably heard of Yoga Sutras before, and some of you may be hearing about it for the first time. Now, many of you have heard of the Vedas, and you have heard of, the Hindu literature and things like that. Now, among the ancient Indian philosophies, when we talk about philosophy, what is philosophy? Philosophy we are talking about is the nature of existence, where from creation came, what is the meaning of life and things like that. That's the realm of philosophy. It is considered there are 6 ancient philosophies from India. And among the 6, the oldest philosophy is considered the Sankhya philosophy. And the Sankhya philosophy is attributed to an author by a sage called Kapila Muni. Kapila wrote the Sankhya Sutras. Then after the Sankhya Sutras, you have three others that came before the Yoga Sutras. You have the Nyaya philosophy, the Vaisheshika philosophy, and after that comes the what is called the Purva Mimamsa or the Mimamsa philosophy. And after that comes the Yoga Sutra philosophy. And last in the chronological line is what is called the Vedanta philosophy. To express a philosophy, that philosophy needs a textual document that somebody has written. So just like Kapila Muni wrote the Sankhya Sutras, you had the Nyaya Sutras written by Gautama Muni, and the Vaisheshika philosophy was written by a Muni called Kanada. And then the in the case of the Mimamsa philosophy, it's associated with Jaimini. And then the Yoga Sutra philosophy is associated with the author Patanjali. And the last chronological philosophy, Vedanta philosophy, the document is actually called the Brahma Sutras, is written by Vyasa, the same Vyasa who compiled the Vedas. Okay? So when you look at the sequence of this philosophical makeup, you begin to understand that when Vyasa compiled the Vedas were hymns, thoughts that already existed within 33 religious traditions or 33 religions in India. And he compiled all of them to make it as one philosophical entity and one practiced religion. Within these 6 philosophies that are there, only 2 of them have rituals attached to them: the Mimamsa philosophy and the Vedanta philosophy. Because along with them, there is also the ritual practices which are fire-based worship that are attached to them. Whereas the yoga philosophy as well as the Sankhya philosophy, Nyaya Vaisheshika, they are purely philosophical without any rituals attached to them. Now, if you read all of these documents together, you will realize that the Sankhya philosophy does not refer to the idea of a god. Whereas on the other hand, the Yoga Sutra directly refers to it. If you look at the Nyaya philosophy and the Vaisheshika philosophy, Nyaya philosophy may have some reference to the idea of God, but Vaisheshika philosophy does not have a reference to the idea of God. Okay? And of course, Mimamsa philosophy gets a little more into that direction. And of course, Vedanta philosophy, as you understand, brings all of them together. Now, from a philosophical perspective, the philosophy of the Yoga Sutras is the same philosophy as Vedanta, but the language and expression may be different. And the key element that that would differ it is essentially, or why do we call it being the same? It is because the Vedanta philosophy was written as a reference to all the Upanishads, which Vyasa borrowed from 33 religions and compiled the Upanishad as the sacred literature of 33 religions, and all of them trying to talk about the higher reality of existence. So you can understand the coming together of the Vedas was political statesmanship of Vyasa to bring the wisdom of 33 disparate people into one fold as one religion. Okay? And so as part of assimilating and bringing all of them and accepting all of them as equally true, what happens is you get the baggage of having a voluminous philosophy, a voluminous set of documents that are supposed to reveal the highest. So to explain what he has done in the Upanishads, Vyasa had to write the Brahma Sutras. And when the Brahma Sutras were written, each line was written with a reference to a Upanishadic statement. Okay, so that is how it was written. Now, Vyasa realized he had created a monster in doing all of this. So one of the things he did was he went and wrote a commentary on the Yoga Sutras. Vyasa did not write a commentary on anything except one document, the Yoga Sutras. So when you look at the Vyasa's commentary on the Yoga Sutras and you compare it with the Vedanta, they are essentially the same, no difference. But what happened was, historically, because of the influence of the Vedas, which is also works as part of the practiced religion, anything people don't practice, if they don't reach bulk of the people. People like religion. People don't care for philosophy. Okay, so essentially what happened was the Yoga Sutras itself was largely forgotten. People focused on the religion that Vyasa created, Sanatana Dharma, bring together 33 religions together. And so this creates, okay. I have a question right here from Anu. And the question says, are there any contradictions within Vedanta given its compilation of 33 different thoughts? No, there are no contradictions. And why are there no contradictions? It is simply because Vyasa knew what it was and he selected what documents he wanted to select. So he selected them in a way where he created no contradictions at all because he was able to control it. But what happened was it is voluminous. So if you want to understand the philosophy of Vedanta, you have to read many, many Upanishads. And at the same time, and as they say, common philosophers say, you should have read minimally at least 10 of the Upanishads before you can approach the Brahma Sutras of Vyasa. Okay? And one of the Upanishads is a very, very long one. The Chandogya Upanishad is a segment. Chandogya Upanishad is extremely voluminous. So to read all of them and come takes a longer time. And this is where Vyasa wrote a commentary on the Yoga Sutras. And of course, for the common people who want not just philosophy, but they also want their sense of worship of God and all of that, he crafted the Mahabharata and the Bhagavad Gita coming from it. That represents the philosophy of the Sanatana Dharma that was put in over there. So that is how all of them came together. Now, in this context, what happens is Yoga Sutra represents the philosophical evolution and maturity of the philosophical thinking, starting right from the Sankhya philosophy and over the ages, culminating in the Vedanta. But the Vedanta is a monstrous mess. So the simplified, easy way to understand the message of the Vedanta and the philosophy is going straight into the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And of course, if you have access to the Vyasa Bhashya, the commentary of Vyasa, that also will illustrate for you. And essentially what I'm going to be saying is not very different from that. Okay. So that gives you a little bit of a perspective on where the background of this Patanjali Yoga Sutra comes from and why it is a very important text. Of course, as people started practicing yoga and asking its antecedents, that is how Yoga Sutra has become more popular in the last several decades. But before that, Yoga Sutra was a completely obscure document. Okay, so I'm going to pause here and ask whether you have any questions. We have 2 more minutes to go, and then we will continue with the practice session today. And tomorrow, we will begin on the summary view of the Yoga Sutras. Any questions? Yes. Yes. Okay. A question from Ashish Khan is, it was the Charvaka philosophy contemporary. Okay. Okay, not really. You see, when it comes to dating all of this, we have a lot of confusion. The reason we have a confusion in the dating is the dating of the Indian documents were actually put by Oxford scholars, English people. And then after that, the training of how to do all of this among Indians also came from the Oxford philosophers. So in other words, what happens is you all realize that when we talk about yoga therapy and how we have been so successful with it, we find that when you talk to most of the doctors find it completely beyond their way of thinking about how the Nadi system can work and how all of that works. It's much beyond their thinking, right? So the modern doctors have been put into a silo of thinking that this is what is proper knowledge and this is the way to approach it. So they cannot even understand the wisdom of traditional medicine systems, right? So the same way, what has happened is the Indian scholars who started writing, they were all taught by the Oxford scholars and they did the same thing. And so in the area of dating, we have a problem. Only in the modern times, the place from where we have actually begun to do correct dating has come from people outside the field of history, going into the side of astronomy and what you would call as physics and computer programming. These are the people who have been able to bring dating, and also from the side of carbon dating and various other things. Okay, I have another. I'm going to come back to this question over here. There is another question that came here. The Vyasa Bhashya does not refer to the Brahma Sutras. Okay, so anybody who thinks Vyasa Bhashya refers to the Brahma Sutras is basically talking in a very uneducated way. Vyasa wrote the Brahma Sutras. Why does he want to give a Bhashya? The Bhashya were given by three major people. Shankaracharya wrote a Bhashya on the Brahma Sutras. Ramanujacharya wrote a Bhashya on the Brahma Sutras. Madhvacharya wrote a commentary on the Brahma Sutras. Vyasa did not. That is stupidity. Okay. So now coming back to the question over here about the place of the Charvaka philosophy. So in the question of with respect to timing, only today there is a realization that they have the ability to actually date the Mahabharata war. And we all know Vyasa was around at that time. And therefore, we have the ability to actually have a better understanding of dates. So today we know that approximately 5,200 years ago, and you can go and look at the work of like three people over there. One is a person called Nilesh Oak, and another person is a person called Raj Vedam. He's from Houston. Nilesh Oak is from Boston. And the third person from Memphis, Tennessee is a person called Narahari Achar. So you can look at their works on how they have gone about doing astronomical dating. So having dated the Mahabharata war, they have been able to go to the look at the Vedas the Mahabharata war, as I said, is approximately 5,200 years old. They can actually give you the exact date on which the Mahabharata war began, and 18 days later when it ended, they can map everything now. And so we know that the compilation of the Vedas happened probably something like 5,200, 5,300 years back. And whereas the Vedic hymns and the religions that existed before that, they were much older. So Vyasa simply borrowed them from different cultures and from those 33 religions, right? So the Charvaka philosophy comes much later on. It actually comes in the same time when Jainism started coming. Now, the original bringing together of the Vedic religion, the Vedic philosophy, and the Vedic system was around that time of Vyasa, around 5,200, 5,300 years back. And after that point, at that point in time, the Vedic religion also involves invoking spirits. Okay. And so these people can invoke, many of you know, for prosperity, you do this havan, that puja, and all of these things, and you ask for the blessing of this spirit, of this God, whatever, right? Actually, God is not the right word. The right word is you ask for the blessings of the spirit. God is beyond spirit, whereas spirit is the, we use the word deva. Deva means being of light. Deva means light. So these are all beings of life. In other words, all the devas exist in the form of vibrations. Just like a departed soul exists as vibration, so that is the same way in which devas also exist. So what happens is you invoke the spirit of these enlightened, devas, or for that matter, when you think of, highly elevated souls who have passed. And so people who come from Muslim background can relate to how Sufi saints are revered and their spirits will come and help you and things like that, how they work through. Or for that matter, even in the side of the Vaishnava system, where the previously departed saints are revered. So if you go to a Vaishnava temple, the people who have departed before, who are, the Alvars, and many of them are revered, and their spirit will help, when needed. So similarly, when you think in terms of Andal and so many, all these things. So in various traditions, and even in the Shaivite tradition, you have the same kind of things. So spirits are different from God, and the devas are in the nature of spirit. So you can invoke spirits to do various things for you in the material world. And so people started using this to kind of take on their enemies, or for material wealth and things like that. And so they would bring in the priests who had all these yogic capabilities, connectivity to make this happen. So when this kind of a thing happened, when people start to think that they are going to use occult powers for material benefits, then the question of what is the meaning of God, what is the meaning of existence, all of that fall into disarray. So when the Orthodox, this Vedic fire-based worship, this havan-based worship kind of system that came along, where some of these people were indulging in it, and what was happening was the system was kept as a close guarded secret. They will guard the mantras and how they go and, invoke all these spirits and all of that. So other people who had evolved spiritually, they came and said, if this is the way you're going to treat it, what is the use of this kind of a thing? If you're going to be materially attached and think of this thing, and you use occult power for this. So this created what is called the heterodox philosophies. The heterodox philosophies are: orthodox is what is the part, what you have as orthodox. Heterodox is what is the opposite of orthodox. So in that context, in reaction to that, probably, Jainism goes to like almost Jainism is probably about 3,500 years old, okay, or even more. Maybe like 2000 BC kind of thing. Jainism goes to 4,000 years old. So that is the period of time Jainism, Charvaka philosophy, many other heterodox philosophies emerged as a reaction to the orthodoxy of the Vedic religion. And out of them, Jainism became the dominant one because it was more focused on spirituality, or what should I say? Focused on spirituality as beyond the body and beyond the world. They were focused on. And whereas what happens is Sanatan Dharma looks upon the physical living as a continuity with the spiritual. That is why the concept of Swadharma and doing your purpose in life is extremely important. Okay. So I have kind of exceeded my time and we have gone way out of time, but I wanted to address this concept. And the last question noted over here, yes, what we call as Sanatan Dharma has come out of 33 religions. And that is why today you will find the Sanatan Dharma system, even though there were 33 religions, Vyasa brought all of them together in one roof without discarding any of them. So what happens is you will find that there are 33 forms of temple worship or worship traditions in India. So if you look at the way in which Tantra worship that is done in Kerala, the Devi worship, it is very different. While there are commonalities, it is quite different from the Devi worship that is done in Bengal and Assam. Now, if you look in terms of the Shiva worship that is done in Tamil Nadu, that is quite different from the Shiva worship that is done in Pashupatinath temple in Kathmandu. Okay, so the thing is, you see, if you look all over India, there are different forms of worship. Those are the 33 original religions. And Vyasa, basically, after compiling the Vedas, in each of these systems, they used to call their gods by their own names. And he basically brought them all into one family. And wherever there were commonalities, he made them all relatives of each other. And so that is how he compiled the Puranas. So in the Puranas is where you have the all these things coming together. Okay. So that is we have to stop over here. We have gone way over time. So let's begin with the chakra vibrations.
Thank you.
And reserve your questions for tomorrow. If we need to
Thank
spend
you.
more time on it, we will do that.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Dr. Rajan.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Rajan. Very
Okay.
nice.
Thank you, Dr. Rajan.
Namaste. Okay. So we go on to the chakra vibration. Bring your awareness to the perineum. Is there anybody new here today who has not done the chakra vibrations before? If so, unmute yourself and say yes. Nobody. So,
Me, myself, Atul Chumle.
oh, okay, Atul, okay. So,
Jennifer, me too.
okay, fine. So, what we do is we focus on the 7 points in the middle of the body, from the perineum to the top of the head. And in each point with focus there, we do a mantra. And it is to be done audibly, not silently. And in each point, we will use a hand mudra also. So we focus on the perineum, which is between the anus and the genital area. So when you're seated, supported by your two butts, it's right in the middle. So you can stimulate it with a gentle squeeze of the butt. And you're pressing the little finger with the thumb. We do the mantra LUM. Take a deep breath in. LUM. Continue. Release the fingers and continue. Last time. Now bring the awareness 1 inch above the perineum. And this is the place behind where we urinate. As we gently squeeze there, we do the mantra VAM. And we press the ring finger against the thumb. Take a deep breath in. Vam. 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 Release the fingers and continue. Vam. Last time. Bring your awareness behind the navel in the middle of the body, and as you draw in at the navel, we do the mantra Ram, and we press the middle finger with the thumb. Take a deep breath in. Ram. Ram. Release the fingers and continue. Bring the awareness in between the breasts and the middle of the body. And here we do the mantra Yam, and we press the index finger with the thumb. Here it is difficult to squeeze. Do a mental squeeze towards the middle of the body. Take a deep breath in. Yum. 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 Release the finger and continue. Yum. Bring your awareness to the throat, and here we do the sound hum, and we do the thumbs up mudra. Keep the thumbs up with a loose fist, and let's go. Take a deep breath in. Hum. 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 Release the hand and continue. Hum. Bring the awareness to the middle of the head, and here we do the mantra Sham, and again thumbs up mudra. Sham. Release the hands and continue. Last time. Bring your awareness to the top of the head, and here we do the 1 second. There is something wrong here. Okay, I don't know how that skipped. Okay, so bring your awareness to the top of the head, in the middle of the body, or the middle of the head, and there we do the mantra Om, and same thumbs up mudra. Om. Release your hands and continue. Now we go on to the happy face breathing, the Ujjayi Pranayama. Those of you who are familiar can begin. Today we'll do a very short for a couple of minutes because we are way over time. For those who need instruction, it goes as follows. Close your eyes and bring your awareness to the throat. The throat is the bottommost part of your mouth where you feel the hole there through which air and food passes down. Keeping the focus on that hole over there in the throat, make a big smile. As the cheeks come out, feel like a little bit of a stretch in the throat. Focus on the stretch in the throat, and as you inhale and exhale slowly, feel like the air is rubbing there as it is inhaling and exhaling. It'll feel like a sucking sensation. Continue. And remember to do it with very light effort. In other words, no big effort. Okay, now we will go on to the spinal alignment. We'll skip the respiratory mantra today. And Vijaya will lead and take it from here. Go ahead.
Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, gently bring the ear down to the shoulder. Inhale and come back. Exhale and bring the other ear down to the shoulder. Inhale and come back. And continue. As you come back, exhale and look over one shoulder. Inhale and come back. Exhale and look over the other shoulder. Inhale and come back. And continue. As we come back, and with the next inhalation, take your head backwards. Exhale and bring the chin down to the chest. Inhale, head backwards. Exhale and chin down to the chest. And continue. As we exhale and come back down, we'll do the 360-degree neck rotations. Inhale for half a circle. And exhale the other half. And continue in the same direction. As we come back to the center, let's switch directions. Inhale for half a circle. And exhale the other half. And continue. Relax as you come back. We'll now do the shoulder exercise and alternate shoulders. Inhale and lift up one shoulder. Exhale, rotate and bring it back down. Inhale and lift up the other shoulder. Exhale, rotate and bring it back down. And continue. Relax as you come back. And we'll now move to the hand exercises. Stretch your hands and keep them straight. As you inhale, open out your palms and keep them perpendicular to the forearm. As you exhale, thumbs in and fists down. Inhale, exhale, and continue. As we exhale and close our fists, let's do the fist rotations. Inhale for half a circle and exhale the other half. And continue. As we come back, we'll switch directions. Inhale for half a circle and exhale the other half. And continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's bring our elbows in line with the shoulders. Open out the palms and move your wrists up and down as you inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And continue. As we come down, let's switch directions. Inhale and exhale. And continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's interlock our hands and place them behind the head. Make sure your elbows are at 180 degrees and the head is straight. As you exhale, turn to one side. Inhale and come back. Exhale and turn the other side. Inhale and come back. And continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's get our elbows above the head. As you exhale, pull on one side. Inhale and come back. Exhale and pull on the other side. Inhale and come back. And continue. Feel the stretch along the shoulder blades as you do this. Relax as you come back. To the next exercise, let's bring our elbows behind the back. As you exhale, turn to one side. Inhale and come back. Exhale and turn the other side. Inhale and come back. And continue. Relax as you come back. The next exercise, let's get our hands on either side of the spine. As you inhale, push back on one side, making a backward arch. Exhale and come back. Inhale and push on the other side. Exhale and come back. Continue. Relax as you come back. We'll now do both our shoulders together. Inhale and lift up both your shoulders. Exhale, push back, rotate, and bring it back down. Inhale and exhale. And continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's cross one leg over the other and hold the knee with your interlocked hand. Exhale and pull up the leg and turn to the same side as the leg you're holding. Inhale and release. Exhale, pull and turn. Inhale and release. And continue. Feel the stretch along your thighs as you do this. As you come back down, we'll switch to the other leg. Exhale, pull and turn. Inhale and release. And continue. Relax as you come back. We'll now do the cycling exercise and 5 counts on each leg. Inhale and bring up the leg. Exhale and stretch it out in a cycling motion. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll switch to the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Relax as you come back. We'll now do a minute or two of Anulom Vilom, or the alternate nostril breathing, and then move to Bhastrika Pranayam. So for the alternate nostril breathing, we exhale and inhale through the same nostril. If you begin your inhalation with the left nostril, you exhale and inhale through the right nostril. Close your right nostril and exhale and inhale through the left nostril, and then switch and continue. If you're familiar with the visualization, please do that as well. As you complete the breath, we'll move to Bhastrika Pranayam. So there's 2 ways of doing Bhastrika Pranayam. One way is to place our hands over the abdominal area, and as we deeply inhale, the abdominal area, the chest and the shoulder expands, and as we exhale, the shoulder, chest and the abdominal area contract. The other way of doing this is to place our hands close to the body, loose fists. As we deeply inhale and push back, the shoulder, chest, and the abdominal area expand. And as we exhale, close our fists and bring our hands down, the shoulder, the chest, and the abdominal area contract. The exhalation is a little longer than the inhalation, and we'll do this keeping our eyes closed to a count of 20. For the first round, I count both the inhalation and the exhalation. And for the second round, I'll keep count of the inhalation and follow through on the exhalation at your own pace. As we do this, please also visualize the vitality of the breath as we inhale and exhale. So if you're ready, inhale, exhale. 2, exhale. 3, Exhale. 4. Exhale. 5. Exhale. 6. Exhale. 7. Exhale. 8. Exhale. 9. Exhale. 10. Exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 16. Exhale. 17. Exhale. 18. Exhale. 19. Exhale. 20. And exhale. Keep your eyes closed. Relax. Observe any sensations in the head and also as they gently dissipate. If the sensations have subsided from the head, we'll move to the next round, and I'll keep count of the inhalation. Ready? Inhale. Two. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Keep your eyes closed. Relax. Observe any sensations within.
As your sensations dissipate, we will now go into meditation. So sit comfortably, support your back if you need to. If you have a personal mantra, please use that personal mantra. Use whatever mudra you like to, that works for you. Tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts, and I care about nothing. With that, I'll play Om, and people who don't have a mantra can listen to Om. Keeping your eyes closed, affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I was born. With that, bring both the palms in front of your face, about 6 inches. As you open your eyes, look directly into the palm of your hands. With that, we'll end the session today. Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste, Anita.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.